There is a wonderful line in the musical The Wizard of Oz when the wizard tells the Tin Man, "A heart is not judged by how much you love, but by how much you are loved by others." The outpouring of love and concern that India saw on August 14th, 2022, the day Rakesh Jhunjhunwala passed away, is a testament to how beloved and idealized he had become as an icon in Indian capital markets. The story of his life became the history of modern Dalal Street. Hello everyone, I'm Ramesh Damani, your host of this very special edition of Wizards, which we are calling Remembering Rakesh. Today is a bittersweet moment for me. Rakesh was my very first guest on Wizards when we started the series in 2005. Today, we're gathered to pay him a final tribute. With me to discuss his life, legacy, and learnings are some of the people who were closest to him. But first, a throwback to his first appearance on Wizards.
The first quality I need as an investor is to be an optimist. I remember what Peter Lynch says, that wars have come, and terror has come, and natural disasters have come, but company profits have gone up. So you have to be the eternal optimist if you want to invest in stock.
Joining me today are Bhaskar, Bhat, Director of Tata Sons, Utpal, Sheth, CEO of Rare Enterprises, Amit, Goela, Partner, Rare Enterprises, and Jayakumar, Managing Director, Prime Securities. Bhaskar, let me start with you. Do you remember where and when you met Rakesh for the first time?
Quite clearly. I don't remember the date, though. It was 2001, around, I think, November or December. He'd come to the office, and a common friend had asked for a meeting with me. I had not yet taken over as managing director. And it was late in the evening, and frankly, to be really honest, I thought it was a waste of time meeting people who were from outside the ecosystem of the company, because I had, more other things to do with sales reviews or business reviews and so on.
No time for him.
Well, I don't know. Frankly, it was a common friend who said, 5 baje aayenge. I said, yeah, le aao yaar. I mean, a courtesy. And that evening, I remember clearly. But he remembered more clearly than I did. He remembered many words, many sentences, many actions of mine, which he kept repeating much later, which I didn't remember.
So you really went from being indifferent to meeting him to being dazzled in the course of that one meeting?
More than everything else that he gave, to me, the time he gave was the most valuable. Therefore, whether time on the phone, whether time to meet physically. So every meeting, to me, in a way, the uninitiated in this world of, investing, as in, running a company and creating value for a company is very far, at least at that time, from the language, the approach, the thesis that investors were using, and particularly with Rakesh, it was a very different thesis. So every time, I'll hear him listen, argue, fight, but finally end up learning something new.
Utpal, what motivated your boss?
Rakesh, I think, was an eclectic investor. He was open-minded, had very strong opinions. And what motivated him was his own aspiration for himself. It was not something outside of him.
Internally driven.
He was deeply internally driven. He was a 24/7 person.
Is it true he never looked at you when you came to the market during business hours because you were looking at the screen?
No, he would look at both. More at the screen maybe, but he would still look at both. But I think what drove him was his intense belief in India, his intense belief in himself, and his intense belief in the power of the equity markets to create value and to create wealth.
Utpal, they also say that markets give you exactly what you want in life. It's your Rorschach test almost. What did he really want from his life, Rakesh?
Rakesh wanted, above everything else, for his beliefs and his convictions to be proven right, to be vindicated. And he, of course, more than achieved that. But I would say that Rakesh felt that he would, it was not the quantum of wealth that he would make, but if India became the India that he had in his dreams, then that would have made
That
him
was
the
vindication.
happiest.
Amit, who were Rakesh's earliest friends in the market?
So, hi Ramesh. So from what I know, there was a trio at that point of time. There was Mr. Radhakishan Damani, there was a gentleman, Mr. Rajiv Shah, who unfortunately passed away, Rakesh, and there was one more gentleman, Nimesh Shah. They all came to the markets at the same time.
Around 85.
Around 85, different age, different backgrounds, but they all came to the market with a single objective, and they became very close friends. And that friendship endured till...
What binded them together, Amit?
I think 3-4 things binded them together. One was their core belief in India. I think they were light years ahead of everybody. They figured out that India is on a different growth trajectory. Second, I believe they all believed that even though Bombay Stock Exchange at that point of time had a little bit of an unsavory reputation, it was a cabal of people or a group of people who controlled it, they all believed that over a period of time, capital markets will allocate capital efficiently to good companies and they can make wealth over there over a long period of time. Which they did.
Legitimately.
Legitimately and ethically.
Jakes, quantify Rakesh's financial genius for me. Tell me his track record.
He famously said, which is also a statement of fact, that he came in with 5,000 rupees. And the last estimated wealth is, say, $5 billion, which is 40,000 crores. Now, 5,000 rupees in 37 years going to 40,000 crores is a mere 64% compounding. Mere.
Yes,
And
you
yet-
drop it onto the floor when you hear that.
And yet, some people will say, but you know, Warren Buffett, dollar terms. We said, hey, wait a minute. 5,000 rupees in 1985 was $500. $5 billion
became $5 billion.
today, $500 to $5 billion is a jaw-dropping 54%, which dwarfs Warren Buffett by only 2.5. It's a 2.5x over Warren Buffett for a person who started with literally 5,000 rupees, no grandfathering, came into an imperfect market, made it, you know, the way he did, and for a person who created capital by trading.
He's the only one in the Forbes 400 who made it through
There's nobody
investing.
else in the top 400 who's made it only through equity markets. It's a staggering. Others may have had listed companies where they got money from the outside.
Right.
He created his capital through trading, paid full taxes, was the highest taxpayer virtually amongst the ilk that we talk about through this period of 37 years, and gave a return to himself and his only investor, Rekha.
You know, as he always famously said. You know, this is time for a break. Let's look at the snapshot for the big bull's life.